Brian with a B.
Flying Brian.
Yep. And Big Lee Smalls.
Big Lee Smalls. Gotcha. He's not looking at us.
Huh?
Maybe I'll go ask. Well, then there'll be no rosters. Good afternoon. You are live at Quad City Chaos from Toronto. My name is Plastik Patrik. I am with Toronto's own Monichrome.
You're a poet and don't know it, Patrick. So we are kicking off with the first B-team matchup for today. This is the Bay Street Bruisers from Toronto against Gang Green, the B-team from Ohio Roller Girls. And we can introduce you to those skaters. The Bay Street Bruisers are 007 Tushy Galore, number 1 Titmouse, number 101 Misery May, number 21 Sneaky D, number 34A Robert Blind, number 483 Low Blow Palooza, number 510 Just Jess, number 525 So What, number 5678 Belfast, and we'll get to the rest later on. Jamming now for the Bay Street Bruisers is number 21 Sneaky D, which is a new addition to the Bruisers, against number 33 Hoop Devil. It looks like Sneaky D has got a bit of a lead there. No lead jammer yet.
No lead jammer. It's been one full rotation. Sneaky D does sneak away with the lead jammer status, though. Hoop Devil is still dealing with the Toronto defense.
I think we added an extra O there. It's actually Hop Devil. Apologies to Ohio for getting that wrong.
We'll give you a discount.
Thanks. And Sneaky D calls it off.
Calls it off. She picked up 4 points and called off the jam. She couldn't quite get that 5th point. Hop Devil got out just on time. As you know, when you pass the 4 blockers and the jammer, you get a grand slam of 5 points.
Mm-hmm. Lining up for the Bay Street Bruisers is 5678. That's Belfast. And I'm not quite catching the number. I've got a bench manager standing in my line of sight. Looks like number 43. That is Allie McSqueal from the Gang Green.
Allie McSqueal recycled right away at the back of the pack.
Belfast up against 4 blockers there. She's nicked off 2. Still in her first pass, and she is now lead jammer for the Bay Street Bruisers.
McSqueal still dealing with the defense. Oh, behind one big wall of gold and white. She is trying to get outside. They push her way out. And in the meantime, Belfast comes in and scores a quick grand slam for the Toronto Bay Street Bruisers.
Gang Green's jammer is out of the pack now. Belfast coming around for her second point scoring pass.
Big Ohio wall at the front. She doesn't even try.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. She said, you're coming too close. I'm calling off the jam.
Not a bad start for the B team here. Bruisers with 9 points. Gang Green still at 0.
And let me remind you, the jammers are lining on the 1234 Skate Company jammer line, based in Peterborough, Ontario. The 1234 Skate Co. is owned and operated by Tord's co-founder and former Dead Track doll Lucid Lou, and serves in the 705 area code.
Jamming now for the Bay Street Bruisers is number 7, who is Chevy Chaser. She is lead jammer. Gang Green's jammer stuck at the back there. That's number 75, Hope de la Vega.
But she does make it out quickly. Hope de la Vega is not your lead jammer. She's out of the pack. Chevy Chase her calls off the jam after picking up 4 points. So I think we're seeing a trend here.
Yeah.
Toronto getting lead jammer status.
Getting their 4 points and calling it off.
Yeah. That's
Seems
often
that they're
how-
playing roller derby today.
Well, they're playing roller derby. Is that how it's
Yeah,
played?
it's kind of how it works. Sometimes there's some, but we're still early in the game.
Yeah, not a
What?
lot of penalties.
Yeah.
Not yet. But that will come.
Yeah. 3.5 minutes in, I should hope that we're still playing clean. Jamming for the Bay Street Bruisers is Titmouse, number 1. And for Gangrene at the back, coming up to the front, that's number 22, Blitz Lemon.
But Titmouse picks up a track cut, and there we go. Speaking of penalties, number 22.
Why every time the announcers make some smart aleck comment, we end up jinxing the whole thing?
Absolutely. Maybe we could control the game in some way.
Maybe.
But we are
We're
not
mystically
controlling-
involved in...
not controlling the game the way that number 22, Blitz Lemon, is controlling her jam. She is the only jam on the track. She has just scored a grand slam, putting her team on the board and catching up to the 13 points that Toronto has scored. But no, forearm. She lands in the penalty box as well. So that means that the Toronto jammer, Titmouse, will hop right back into play.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm talking about the sugar box penalty box.
And she's up against a wall of green there, having a hard time breaking her way through. Bruisers seem to be holding back, and now they're engaging in that pack, peeling 2 off. Third one comes up, but they are out of play, and now Titmouse is able to start her scoring pass. No lead, obviously. Too many penalties accrued here. We are going to go to the 2 minutes, and
Yep.
Titmouse making it easy on that second pass.
Wow, yeah. That was an easily earned grand slam.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's just really good.
It's true.
Yep.
Number 22, struggling there, getting pushed out by Tushy Galore's Tushy there. Stuck at the back.
Another
Behind-
easy grand slam for Titmouse.
Bruisers playing some good defense here, similar to what we saw with CN Power earlier today.
Yeah. Is it me or has Titmouse been around for a while?
She has. She
I
is
remember her from the Beast from way back.
not one of the originals, but I believe she came into play somewhere around 2009, and
Right.
she's definitely an original Bruiser. The Bruisers formed just a couple years ago as
Right.
a traveling B team. They had started off as a home team for Toronto Roller Derby, and have sort of graduated up as a B team. And speaking of the Bruisers, number 21 jamming for the Bruisers, that is Sneaky D. She snuck her way into lead jammer status.
And that's Hop Devil for the Ohio Gangrene.
She has just cleared the pack, just as Sneaky D is making her way through.
Sneaky D on a scoring pass. Oh, easily on the outside. Turns on the jets and calls off the jam.
Toronto Roller Derby now with 27 points. Gangrene with 9. We have 23 minutes left in this half, and a pretty full bench there. Or
Yeah.
sorry, that's not the bench.
Yeah,
That's the penalty box.
Yeah.
That's the Sugar Bomb penalty box there that you see full up with skaters from both teams. Sugar Bomb specializing in derby apparel, and they are the ones that are making those armbands, which make it very easy to see those penalties coming through for the refs. That is number 5678 Belfast jamming for the Bay Street Bruisers.
Again, Toronto picking up lead jammer status.
Oh, but she got knocked out there. I don't know if that was just tripping on feet or if she did get a hit, but she calls it off.
Yeah, it's still 0-0 though. After all of that, 0-0. However, how important is it to get lead jammer status? I mean, she
Well, you
got
control
to
the
prevent,
game.
Yeah, you control the game essentially. She prevented the other team from picking up points, even though she herself did not score any.
Derby being excellent in that way that you're playing defense and offense at the same time.
That's right.
It's a thinking girl sport for sure. That's Chevy Chaser jamming for the Bay Street Bruisers against number 75. We saw her earlier. That's Hope de la Vega.
And she picks up lead jammer, the first lead jammer status in a while for Ohio. Actually, I think the first lead jammer status for Ohio. Chevy chase her, clearing the pack, but Hope de la Vega still on her first scoring run. Turns on the Jets on the outside again. I like that move.
Yeah.
Oh, push to the outside. I think she tried to call off the jam, but
I think she did, but
no, nobody saw her.
Enough. And now she's got to make up those points because Chevy Chaser just picked up 4.
Yeah, she's got to score 4 now, but she already may have them.
Sometimes just for safety's sake, but
Yeah.
if she's paying attention to that other jammer, she'll see that Chevy Chaser is approaching that pack.
Yeah.
She did see her. She did call it. Bruisers picked up 1.
She did, so that's a 5-4 jam in the favor of Toronto.
Just to be clear here, we are watching the B teams from both of these leagues, Toronto Roller Derbies, Bay Street Bruisers, and Ohio Roller Derbies, Gang Green. So as we say Ohio and Toronto, they are not to be confused with the A teams, though the level of play here seems to be pretty comparable.
Although we did see the A teams earlier on.
Mm-hmm. Number 22, jamming for Gang Green, playing a little defense before she takes off and hits the front of the pack. That's Titmouse jamming for the Bay Street Bruisers, and she takes that inside line at the last minute. About a half a track separating these two jammers.
But that's Blitz Lemon from Ohio, who is your lead jammer in this jam.
Oh, gets tripped up and decides to call it before Titmouse can score.
Yeah.
Once again, 0-0, but smartly played. Score now stands at 33 points for Toronto Roller Derby, 13 for Ohio.
Let me tell you about another of our sponsor, which is Radar Wheels. The MVP awards will be handed out after the final game on Sunday and are provided by Radar Wheels. Radar Presto is proud to sponsor the Quad City Chaos. Radar Presto say, these are nice.
And that is Gang Green getting lead jammer there. She's moving so fast I can't even see that number. It's number 33, Hop Devil. And that's Sneaky D, number 21 in the white for the Bay Street Bruisers, stuck in that pack behind a wall of Gang Green.
Hop Devil hitting the back of the pack on her first scoring run.
Interesting, Gang Green didn't actually pull that back. They could have really created some distance, just as the Bay Street Bruisers are doing now. Oh, that was a brutal hop back.
Yeah.
Forcing a track cut.
But no dice, I think.
No, I don't think she jumped far enough back.
No.
Messing with her mind, though.
There goes Sneaky D clearing the pass on her initial pass. I assume, Hop Devil calls it right off, picks up the 4 points, the hard-earned 4 points, and calls off the jam, brings her team to 17 against Toronto's 33.
Mm-hmm. That blocker that hopped back was Machu Picchu, a new recruit to the Bay Street Bruisers and a new skater for Tord. She's a transfer skater, I believe. She's from Halifax.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That was a sneaky strategy.
Yeah. And once again, we have Belfast fighting her way at the front of the pack there as jammer for the Bay Street Bruisers.
And that's Allie McSqueal for the Ohio Gang Green. Belfast picks up lead jammer status. Allie McSqueal still fighting through the pack. She's pushed to the inside. Yeah, she has to recycle at the very back.
Belfast sneaks through the middle there.
Yeah, that's a grand slam for Toronto.
Those natural ones are brutal on that opposing team.
Yeah. She did make it out, though. That's good.
Yeah.
Because often enough, if it takes a long time to make it out, that's when jammers get tired and they get messy and then power jams happen.
Belfast calling that off as she's getting dragged to the back of the pack by Gang Green. Gang Green picking up a few skills there. They weren't quite skating back far enough before, but looks like their bench is adapting quite quickly to the Bruisers game.
And the Sugar Bomb penalty box is adapting 2-3 blockers for Ohio in the penalty box versus 1 for Toronto. So a heavily advantaged pack for Toronto in this one.
Not quite sure why they've... Oh, we had one standing, that's why.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't make a difference
I'm
concerning.
like, there aren't enough chairs for 3 blockers. What's happening?
Yeah, when there's 10 seconds left for one of the chairs, they fill it up.
Yep.
And that was a quick jam.
Yeah.
0-0. Well, that's what happens when a second jammer clears the pack just as quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you about Jack in the Socks, Monichrome.
Tell me more.
It doesn't matter whether your socks match or not. At Jack in the Socks, their mission is to banish plain, boring socks from sock drawers everywhere. One forgettable pair at a time.
Unforgettable or forgettable?
One forgettable pair at a time.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
What's unforgettable is Titmouse getting through the front of that pack and taking lead jammer for the Bay Street Bruisers.
Yeah, and Blitz Lemon getting that brutal hit on the inside. Forced to recycle, but she does clear the pack, not before Titmouse hits the back of the pack.
Sweeps up those points, and she calls it off.
Yeah, 4 and go. So far, it doesn't seem like any serious power jams, no serious game-changing jams. 42-17 for Toronto.
Yep. Both newish teams, I
Yeah.
think. Ohio, their A team lost a number of skaters, and so it's only natural that they would be pulling up some hot tickets from the B team. And same thing happened with the Bruisers over last season. They lost 3 key skaters to CN Power and a few retirements. So we actually have only 6 former Bruisers from 2013 on the track now.
Really?
8 are brand new.
Really? And
Many
wow.
of those brand new to the league as well. So
But that's kind of the point of having a B team, right?
Absolutely.
You have the home teams where ladies play locally, and then those that choose to play at a higher level or want to play at a higher level, often start with the B team, which is kind of a farm team for the A team.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a multi-tiered system, and it's a training ground. I know that having been a former Bruiser, you're skating with the A team quite a bit, and that's really where they're poaching the best skaters, and that's what's happened over the off season. So breeding some amazing new skaters, one of which is that Sneaky D at number 21 in the white there, and number 33, a clear favorite jammer for Gangrene.
Hop Devil.
Hop Devils getting plenty of play here.
Oh, but now she's getting a track cut sent out to the Sugar Bomb penalty box.
Sneaky D
Sneaky
taking it
D.
away.
Yep. Showtime for her. Oh, and approaching that pack at top speed. There's only one blocker to stop her, and that's number 19, Texas Chainsaw Sass Kicker.
Misery May and Robert Blind blocking at the back of the pack, just holding that that blocker from Gangrene, hoping to give Sneaky D's the opportunity to break up that pack.
Hop Devil still in the penalty box. Sneaky D already almost clearing the pack out of play. Of course, she picks up 5 more points. A grand slam. 10 points so far for Sneaky D.
Bruiser's trying to, nice little pirouette there.
Yeah, well, she stayed in bound.
She did.
Yeah, those pirouettes, that's what they do when you can do them. 5 more points, 15 for Sneaky D.
And another Gangrene player going to the penalty box. Sneaky D only has one to beat. Machu trying to give her some space, but she doesn't need to.
No, Texas Chainsaw Sass Kicker again, the lone blocker for Ohio Gangrene. Their jammer is back in play, though. Hop Devil, obviously not lead jammer. She still has to perform her initial pass, so that's why Sneaky D has got all the time in the world to pick up 4 or 5 more points.
Bay Street Bruisers not making it easy.
Nope. Then again, why would they?
Well, yeah.
Please don't make it easy so we can have more fun watching.
Got to keep it interesting.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
just
that
before.
is called.
Yeah, just before she hits the back of the pack, she calls it off. Sneaky D, great jam for Sneaky D and the Bay Street Bruisers. And again, as you see in the Sugar Bomb penalty box, an advantage for the Toronto team, as they have 1 blocker in the penalty box and 2 for Ohio. Ohio
running into penalty trouble.
Kind of
for
penalty
sure.
heavy in this first half.
That's number 43, jamming for Gangrene. That's Allie McSqueal against Belfast, one of the key jammers here for the Bay Street Bruisers. And she has lead. And it looks like one of those bruisers got sent out on a penalty. I missed the call. We've got some small packs here.
Allie McSquill having a hard time with the defense. She's pushed to the inside again, recycled. Oh, clears the pack on the outside, but not before a scoring run can happen for Belfast.
Belfast almost taking that outside. Cleverly dekes to the end. Gets by on one skate.
Yeah, she faked it outside and then skated in.
73 points for the Bay Street Bruisers, 17 still for the Ohio Gangrene.
And look at that. This time it will be an Ohio-advantaged pack.
That's Chronic and Android WK sitting in the penalty box for the Bruisers. Speaking of Android, I do need to give a shout out to her parents, Ron and Carol. Thank you so much for watching in the Sioux Lookout. I hope you saw what your daughter did. And what we're looking at now is Ohio Gangrene racing away with lead jammer. That's a new jammer for
Lita Fuse.
Lit a fuse. Definitely lit a fuse on her skates because she is racing around.
Yeah, absolutely. Although she did not pick up any points, she was pushed to the outside, and then the Toronto jammer was catching up to the back of the pack. So instead of letting that happen, she called it right off. Rumbling Rage Derby Shop is a Canadian roller derby owned company based in Barrie, Ontario. Their mission is to provide you with accessible, high-quality products to play roller derby. RumblingRage.com.
And while we were hearing about Rumbling Rage, we just watched Titmouse go to the penalty box.
On a back block.
On a back block.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a power jam for the Gangrene if their jammer can get past Tushy Galore, which she does.
Yeah, she does, and I think this is a well-needed power jam for the Ohio Gangrene. Their chance to rake up a few points here.
Looks like Android WK just came into play and right back out. Got a little tripped up at the front there. And number 5G. Holding that jammer back as long as possible.
And that's number 22, Blitz Lemon, still on a power jam. She hits the back of the pack. She's got a few blockers to contend with. Oh, turns on the Jets on the inside and picks up 5 more points. 10 so far for the Ohio Gangrene.
Yeah, this was definitely the pickup that Gangrene was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, game-changing jam. Puts them back in the, oh, nice pirouette. Calls off the jam.
She picks up that 4th point. Just barely getting those hips around.
Yeah, very nice. It is the hips that counts, isn't it?
It is. It's all about the hips.
Yeah. Well, that brings the Ohio Roller Girls Gangrene to 31. Still 73 for Toronto Roller Derby, but, you know, perhaps this is a oh-so-important momentum change. Look at that. They send out one of their very reliable jammers, Hop Devil, on the 20
jammer line, but Titmouse was standing in the penalty box. Gangrene wasn't paying attention. She's just now picked up lead jam, skating out of that penalty box and right to the front. She's already at the back of that pack. This pack is moving fast.
Yeah.
Gangrene keeping it that way. Misery May just nudges that inside line open, gives it a clear sight, and the Bay Street Bruisers run away with 5 points.
How important is it for that to be aware of that jammer at all time?
Crucially
time.
important.
Yeah,
That's where all the points come from. You got to know where every jammer is.
Oh, yeah, but when she's in the penalty box, it's easy to forget.
Totally. Yeah, you think you've got the advantage, but even before that game starts, you need to be looking back and making sure that, okay, she's got 10 seconds. How long is 10 seconds? But also, yeah. But when you're playing this game, 10 seconds can feel like 3 or 30.
Yeah, that's right. We got Ali McSqueal for the Ohio Gangrene, who is not lead jammer because that's been awarded to number 21, Sneaky D for the Toronto Bay Street Bruisers.
And she's just weaving her way through. Oh, she just knee slides her way.
And she picks up a grand slam. 5.
Oh, huge hit by Tushy Galore. Really countered that whip that Gangrene was trying to give their jammer. It took her a good 10 seconds to get up from that hit. I love it when those hits happen right in front of the camera.
And I'm sure you do too.
That's right. If you're watching. Of course, you can always talk to us instead of just listening to us talk to you. You can go to TO Roller Derby on Twitter, or you can use the hashtag #2QCC. Tell us what you think about the tournament.
And right now, I'm sure you're thinking, Sneaky D's got it going on because she is on her 3rd scoring run. Ali McSqueal still stuck behind a very powerful wall of Bruisers. So powerful that she's forced to pass the star. And now they are walling up around Texas Chainsaw. No, that's number 19. Texas Chainsaw Sasskicker, yes.
Yeah. She's new with the star here. I wonder if they've been holding on to her for a bit.
But she does have to wear the star properly, and right now it's coming off her helmet.
Which means she's been sent to the penalty box. Nope, she actually had a track cut, so either way, she's going to sit and adjust her panty and think about what she did while Sneaky D just comes around for 5 more points.
Yeah, coasting around, which means a big advantage also for the next jam. She's got at least 45 seconds to go in the penalty box, so a big advantage for the next Bruisers jammer.
And that is Belfast, number 5678.
That's who I would go for too.
Yep. If you had to pull a jammer. Sneaky D, though, however, has been skating quite well throughout this game. Definitely a welcome new addition to the team. But given that she just came off the track, we might as well give some Belfast a little gameplay. And it's a good thing she did. She just wiggled her way through 4 Gangrene skaters to pick up lead jammer.
There she goes on that power jam. Belfast, with one more blocker. that just
one more
stop
sneak through.
her.
Yep.
With all her might and in any position possible. There she comes around again on the outside. Nope, she goes to the inside. There she goes. What a fake again. She's good at that.
Yep, signature move there from Belfast.
Actually, but the other team should take notice. She looks like she's going to the outside. She's actually going to come in.
She's going to dupe ya.
I bet that's what they'll be talking about.
Doing it again.
Yeah.
Oh, but number 50 was able to stop her and skate backwards.
There she goes. Texas Chainsaw Sasskicker out of the penalty box.
Gangrene onto what Belfast is feeding them. Belfast calls it off, but not before Gangrene comes away with 3 points. Once again, you got to pay attention to that jammer. Coming out of the penalty box especially.
But she's easy to forget.
Absolutely.
She's just out of the way. So your
one
mind
less
is switching
thing.
to defense to depending which team you are, but you don't have to split the pack into 2 roles.
Right. Chevy Chaser now skating for the Bay Street Bruisers with the star. And I believe that's number 50 again for Gangrene. Nope. 1980. She gets a track cut. She's trying to find a way back to the penalty box, and she's got to skate it around.
Yeah, that's lit a fuse.
That's so brutal, too. She got that penalty right in front of the bench, and that penalty box is all the way into turn 4, so she had to skate the long way around. Good hit by number 75. I think that was a directional play, though. Just barely moving in the wrong direction. She's going to sit in the penalty box for Gangrene.
Yeah, you've got to make those hits moving forward, not backwards. Chase Hurst still on that so important power jam. Toronto team well ahead now, 120 points to 34 to Ohio. There she goes, picking up 5 more points. I think that's 15 for the Toronto Jammer.
Oh, she's tagging her teammate. It looks like she's telling him to hold back. She's going to take this on her own.
Yeah.
And she does. Chevy Chaser coming around for another 5 points.
And some jammers prefer that, because the minute somebody from your pack starts to move, that means their pack is going to move.
Oh, and they're doing a panty pass there. That's going to Honey Boom Boom, number 5G. They're going to make this a long jam.
Yeah, and look at this. The Texas Chainsaw Sasskicker cleared the pack right away. Those players have got to pay attention to jammers coming out of the penalty box.
And now that there's been a panty pass, there is no lead. And it looks like Gangrene might have picked up a few points there.
They
Let's
picked
see.
up?
Nope.
No, it's Toronto. Picked up 2 more. So note to both teams. Make sure you watch the jammer sitting in a penalty box. She's going to come out. You're not going to expect it. And she's going to clear the pack before you know it.
They always come out of the penalty box, folks.
Yep.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And that is Sneaky D jamming for the Bay Street Bruisers, number 22 from Gangrene.
Blitz Lemon. And what a battle. I love those. One blocker, one jammer at the front of the pack facing each other.
Blitz Lemon is out ahead. She's the lead, but Sneaky D is right on her tail.
Yeah. Is she going to chance it?
I don't know. This pack is moving mighty fast.
Yeah. Pack's moving
I think
really
it
fast.
might just be worth it to call it and start over, but nope, she's getting greedy. She's trying to pick up one, and Bruisers steal it. Bruisers take 2 points off that.
That's right. That was a big chance that she took. Of course, it was the Ohio pack speeding it up so that all of the Toronto blockers would be at the back of the pack, and she would catch up and make some points, but no such luck. That's not the way it went down. And look at that, the unmistakable Batman pants.
5, 6, 7, 8, that's Belfast. And number 33 from Gangrene, jamming once again, that's Hop Devil.
And she hopped to the front. She picked up lead jammer status, Hop Devil. But Belfast is not too far behind, about the quarter of a track.
Yeah. Looked like she got a little bit caught up on the floor there, a little slippy. Just Jess hits Gangrene out, and she calls it.
And picks up 3.
Not too shabby. That is the end of the half. Once again, those seconds add up to minutes, and we are now a half an hour into this bout. Toronto Bay Street Bruisers with 134, Ohio with 37.
Big advantage for Toronto right now. I think, I hate to say we need to look at penalties, but in this game, it's a really big issue for the Ohio team.
Yeah.
Jammers coming out of the penalty box. The coaches. I know the Helian boy was a jammer herself. She's the bench manager for Ohio. She's going to be saying that to her skaters, or they're going to find a way to warn the pack that the jammer's coming, because that happened a number of times where the jammer would just sneak out of the penalty box and sneak past the pack who were not expecting her at all. Yeah.
And I think also with this game, we're seeing some really heavy defense from the Bay Street Bruisers. It's something that we saw with CN Power. So, it's only natural that the B team is going to pick up a very similar skill set.
Absolutely.
And they're playing very similar strategies that we saw throughout the day. I mean, we're definitely seeing what 2014 roller derby is going to start looking like.
Well, and I think it's going to look more defensive, because we always tend to think of the roller derby stars as the jammers because they score the points.
Right.
But if the jammer can't get through, there are no points.
Exactly. And so having those strong blockers backing you up, giving you space, even just distracting that front wall and giving you that time.
And working together.
Yeah.
Also important.
Yeah. So we will see what happens over the halftime, what coaching ends up coming ahead. And we're going to have a bench switch as well. So if you saw one team on the right, they're going to be on the left. And we'll see if that makes a difference, being closer to that jam line where the game action starts.
But I think the locker room discussion is going to make a big difference. Ohio, first game when they played against Montreal, they came out swinging after the break.
Right.
So,
and it wouldn't be surprised to see some of those players coming over to their team and saying, look, this is their weaknesses. This is what we've got to do. So,
so
we will see what happens. Thank you for tuning in. Feel free to hashtag talk number 2 QCC to tell us what you think of the tournament and what we can be doing better or what we're doing great. We love compliments as well as criticisms, and we will see you in about 12 minutes.